and to your doctrine. Those are the two things. It's you and your doctrine, your whole life. It's you and your doctrine. And it's you preaching your doctrine in the pulpit, and it's you living your doctrine as an example. Be an example. Be an example. Paul says to Timothy, be an example. Preach the word. Those are the two things you do. You live it and you preach it. You live it and you preach it. And look, some people I think maybe enter into the ministry and they have a certain fear because they know their own sinfulness and the temptations and the weakness. But we were singing that, weren't we, tonight? He will hold me fast. And I've said this through the years, if I could lose my salvation, I would. I can't lose my salvation, but I certainly could lose my sanctification. So I have to be diligent. And I have to surround myself with people whose expectations are really high. And that starts with my wife, Patricia, who thinks I need to live all the time everything I preach. The woman is just unreasonable. But I love her so much that to disappoint her in any sense would be heartbreaking. And then I look at my kids, you know, a 50-year-old son, a 46-year-old son, both text me today, tell me they love me. What kind of a gift is that? They love me because they trust. I've been their dad. I mean, they've lived with me in the house. I mean, we're together still. I wouldn't want to do anything that would cause them to stumble. And then I have another generation of these little grandchildren coming along. And every once in a while I look on my phone. Corey's here, my son-in-law, and his little tiny Eloise sent me a video on the iPhone, and she was quoting John 3:16 for me. Every once in a while I look at that, and I wouldn't do anything to harm or to do anything to lead her in any direction but toward Christ. And then the circle widens with the people that are around you and the people you know are looking at you and watching your life, and then your congregation. I mean, you know, we were talking about this last night. There was an explosion of a very well-known pastor in the last 48 hours, I'd say. And you probably read about it. A constant pattern of sin over years finally erupts into a massive explosion. That is just an absolute disaster of epic proportions. And all of us get sort of splattered by that because it sort of knocks the trust factor of pastors down, and we all get that little diminishing unless we've had years and years. Look, I'm not perfect. Nobody would ever say I am. Not certainly the people who are closest to me would know my imperfections better than any. But I really do think you can live a life that honors Christ, and you can love your people, and you can preach the word, and you can raise your family, and you can be who you are, and you can go through sicknesses and accidents, and your wife can break her neck, and your son can have a brain tumor, and you can struggle with all the folks in your church, and 45 years later they can still believe what you say because they've watched your life. There was I think it was one of the Puritans who said, when you preach, you put the nails in the door, in the barn door, but when you live what you preach, you drive them deep. And I think that there's so much truth in that. The long haul, Mark was talking about that, wasn't he? The long haul, to be patient and have an enduring ministry over the long haul requires the relentless pursuit of sanctification. And that isn't just saying yes, that's saying no, 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 no,